A part of our purpose here on earth is to love and help our neighbors. Have you been doing that? Let us remember that we cannot go through this life alone, as we are interconnected by the roles we carry out in society. Now, I know it may not seem like it, but take some time to sit and examine even our basic needs and recognize that someone else likely made the clothes on our backs, someone else planted or manufactured the foods we eat, and someone else created or built the structure of our houses. We cannot do without each other. So remember to show kindness, appreciation, and respect in everything that you do. Hi there, everyone. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for joining us for this Wednesday's edition of Jamaica Magazine.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, April 30, 2025. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the government will continue to strategically invest in the country's security forces to create a safer environment for all citizens and businesses. He asserts that investments so far in national security are yielding reduction in major crimes and will strengthen the country's profile as an attractive destination for tourism and foreign investments. As at April 26, all major crimes were down by 18.2%. This includes a 36.6% decline in murders, 30.7% reduction in shootings, and 47.3% fewer reported cases of rape.
When our murder rate reaches the sub 1,000, which it will this year, we will go below 1,000 murders. The first time in almost 30 years, we will below 1,000 murders. That is going to send a signal to business people and to the rest of the world that Jamaica is serious about making this country, making our country a destination, not just for tourists to go into all-inclusive hotels, but to make Jamaica a destination for people to visit and for businesses to come and operate.
The Prime Minister was addressing the 70th anniversary and grand opening of the Jamaica Packaging Industries' $2 billion new factory on Spanish Town Road on Tuesday. Dr. Holness emphasized the correlation between security and economic growth.
The cost of living that you experience as a citizen, a part of that is the cost of security. So every plant, every business operator has to add in their budget a line item which is quite significant for security. Therefore, if the government is able to reduce security concerns, then the cost of living to everyone reduces.
Still on national security, Portfolio Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the country is on a path to long-term sustainable reduction in crime.
We are not just reducing crime, we are changing the trajectory.
Dr. Chang was delivering his opening presentation for the 2025-2026 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. He says the police force is also making significant strides in its strategic efforts to combat gangs and dismantle criminal networks. According to Minister Chang, since the start of the year, 63 gangs have been impacted through investigations and operational efforts.
159 gang members have been arrested. Some 34 members have been charged with applicable offences, which include murder, firearm breach, and lotto scamming. 15 gang members have been charged under anti-gang legislation. Overall, 10 gang-related cases have been before the courts, with 90 accused involved.
Statistics reveal a sharp decline in the number of active gangs, moving from 120 in the first quarter of 2024 to now 85 in the same period this year. In addition, 356 firearms have been seized and 9,605 rounds of ammunition recovered. Also coming out of Parliament on Tuesday was the revision of proposed mandatory minimum sentences for murder, increasing some of the penalties originally tabled in 2023, including a minimum of 50 years for capital murder. This follows extensive consultations on 3 key justice bills now before Parliament. They are the Offences Against the Person Amendment Bill, the Criminal Justice Administration Amendment Bill, and the Child Care and Protection Amendment Bill.
For capital murder, increases the mandatory minimum sentence to be served before being eligible for parole from 20 years to 50 years under Section 3(1)(c) subsection A, increases the mandatory minimum sentence to be served before being eligible for parole, where the sentence is imprisonment for life, from 15 years to 40 years under Section 3(1)(c)(b).
While closing the debate on the legislation, the Justice Minister said these changes were designed to deter persons from committing murders.
This Parliament has to send the clear and unmistakable message to potential killers that life is sacrosanct, sacred, and when taken, the offender must be prepared and must know that they are going to spend a long time in prison.
Meanwhile, penalties for non-capital murder were lowered. The mandatory minimum penalty proposed is 30 years, down from 45, and the minimum time to be served before being eligible for parole is 20 years instead of 35. Guidelines for minors convicted of murder will be introduced in the Child Care and Protection Amendment Bill. In the case of capital murder, if convicted, the minor would be sentenced to life imprisonment or a minimum of 30 years. However, eligibility for parole would be after 15 years. In other news, the Jamaica Teaching Council JTC Act, having passed in the Senate on Friday with 38 amendments, will now go before the House of Representatives for approval. The landmark legislation aims to strengthen the quality, accountability, licensing, and regulatory framework of the country's teaching profession. It will also formally establish the Jamaica Teaching Council as a statutory body with oversight responsibility. Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, who piloted the bill in the Senate, affirms that it reflects the collective input of all major stakeholders, including the National Parent-Teacher Association and the Jamaica Teachers Association.
I must note that at every step, all stakeholders have had opportunity to contribute to the evolution of the Jamaica Teaching Council bill. For each change of administration, the respective cabinets and civil society have endorsed the continued pursuit of this bill. So this bill is not the government's bill. This bill is all of our bill. This bill is really Jamaica's bill.
To support a smooth transition, the minister explained that teachers already recognized under the current Education Act will have 2 years to comply with the new requirements under the JTC bill.
Teachers already recognized under the Education Act by virtue of their existing qualifications as of whatever that appointed day will be deemed registered or enrolled under this act. And so that's very clearly specified in Section 81. These individuals must then, though, apply to the JTC for a license or authorization to teach within 24 months. So they have 2 years after the act comes into place to regularize themselves.
Minister Dixon also endorsed a proposal from opposition Senator Peter Bunting to make the National Teacher Registry publicly accessible. The bill also introduces a regulated framework for homeschooling, requiring parental approval and oversight by the Independent Schools Unit. As the sector prepares for this transformation in the education system, Minister Dixon is encouraging the public to visit trendja.com for updates on the changes. And finally, the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, has been instructed to conduct a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the deaths of several crocodiles at the Greater Portmore Ponds in St. Catherine. The ponds are managed by the National Water Commission, NWC. Minister with responsibility for the environment, Matthew Samuda, led a tour of the facility on Saturday to identify the root causes of the death of the crocodiles and to identify measures for implementation to prevent recurrence. These include increased monitoring by NEPA and installation of critical infrastructures to allow crocodiles to move freely between ponds when there is a significant reduction in the water levels. In addition, Minister Samuda says new monitoring systems will be introduced in collaboration with NEPA and the Hope Zoo to ensure a rapid response should the animals become trapped again. The affected facility comprises 9 ponds, of which 3 were taken out of service by the NWC due to an embankment defect. The NWC has since started work on the necessary repairs to bring the ponds back into operation. Minister Samuda further states that in short order, the NWC will present a comprehensive maintenance plans for all ponds, specifically those in the Porchmore community. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
Did you know that reading is for everyone? Whether you're a student, a professional, or simply someone looking to expand your horizons, reading is for you. Reading expands knowledge, improves focus and concentration, enhances vocabulary, and serves to unlock your creativity. So make time for reading every day. Let's make reading a habit for a smarter, healthier, and more successful life. For reading is for everyone.
Education is a fundamental right. And with the introduction of digital textbooks featuring Jamaican Sign Language, the Jamaican government is making learning truly inclusive for every student. Learn more next.
With just a touch,
With just a swipe, our youth are now able to learn on any device.
with the help of UNICEF's Technical Working Group and the Ministry of Education and Youth Special Education Unit, our young people now have access to digital textbooks. The Universal Design for Learning (UDL) methodology, which is central to accessible digital textbooks (ADT), has allowed for the venture to take root. The first 2 fully accessible books were released in late September 2022 to allow for greater inclusion of students with disabilities. Now this time around, all students will have access to high-quality, interactive digital textbooks in a variety of languages, including Jamaican Sign Language.
We are very happy to see technology transforming education, particularly in areas where children did not have the accessibility, the integration of technology into education is the next frontier. There is a fear that somehow technology, with all its advancements in artificially developing intelligence, could replace or minimize the role of the teacher. That is absolutely not the case when it comes to education. It means that the teacher now has a more powerful tool with which they can exercise their duties. And of course, you know, it introduces new challenges into the classroom, right? But it also introduces greater opportunities for engagement.
My name is Ari Jones and I'm from Danny Williams School for the Deaf.
Ari and others have access to 2 books that were transformed into ADT format for the Jamaican pilot using UDL principles, My Brain is My Boss, and Harriet Hen and the Hawk. Little Harry is using the My Brain is My Boss ADT book to help him grasp the relationship between the brain and the body.
In this effort, we are working to make sure that no one is left behind, and the population that is in our most concern is the disability population. As you know, we have a lot of barriers in the country for this population to enter to the education system yet. But I want to have the opportunity to congratulate the government for the recent passed Disability Act, which paved the way for this population to really have their rights granted in the country.
The Disabilities Act came into effect on February 14, 2022. This followed its approval in 2014 and the affirmation of the Disabilities Regulations in 2021.
Yes, walk right over there and drop it in the bin. Reuse that wastewater from your kitchen for the garden. Get your hands dirty and plant a tree. Farmers, hold off on the pesticides, especially near our rivers. Do your part to protect our watersheds so we can preserve the source of our drinking water. Every act to protect our watersheds counts. Start now.
After removing your items from a cardboard box, said box might not be anything but garbage for you. Well, that's not the same for Gawain James. Up next, we explore how this cardboard master turns trash into treasure.
They are urged to be recycled, but a lot of times simply discarded. You may pick one up to help you with the groceries, stock unused or unwanted items, but never to make a living. That is where you and Gawain James differ.
I'm Gawain James, and I'm the cardboard master. None like me. I grew up drawing, painting, and all these things, but I didn't know I could make stuff from cardboard.
It was Bob Marley who said, "You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice." This was the attitude Gawain developed when he started his career to become what he calls the cardboard master. The husband and father of one worked in the hotel industry as a manager for almost 2 decades when health began to wane. Gawain started to fall ill on the job sometime in 2019. He recounts that an ambulance would come get him sometimes 3 times in a week while at work. The doctors didn't know what exactly the problem was, but after a year, they learned it was lupus. Then the COVID-19 pandemic struck the world, and Gawain too. Understanding that his health took precedence, he left his job. But the breadwinner had concerns about filling the gap. Opportunity came by way of him just doing what any loving father does.
My son got a homework from school, and I decided I was going to make the project. However, after creating the project, I realized that this was really good. This was looking good, and posted it on my WhatsApp status. That a person started to comment on it, and I said, you know what, maybe I can try this. And then there was others influencing me. Give this a try, man. Maybe this is you.
And it was. He got his first official client when a pageant mom commissioned his services for her daughter's pageant costume. And ever since then it has been
amazing. Amazing. Because of that one, I got another one for a different pageant, and it's just been going on from that. Sometimes I post, persons see, like, and then I'll get other clients through that. Or, some persons just word of mouth. Persons spreading it. Hey, this guy, he's very good at this, and it goes on from there.
It has been 2 years since his new profession began, and the bulk of his job orders are from parents wanting him to do school projects for their children. However, his clients do not stop with parents. Teachers too are among his patrons. And he may be going back into the hotel industry, only not in the same capacity.
They want me, for example, to show clients how to make stuff from these used materials, and they are asking me to create stage props or any little thing that can come from the cardboard.
And if you're wondering how lucrative this recycling business is, just know that this one-time manager is making a living.
When I decided to try it, I wasn't thinking about money. I was just doing a thing. And then afterwards, then you see what comes up, what happens next. They'll say, wait, hotel manager left come in my yard when I make things out of cardboard, you know. And that talk actually was ringing around for a few. But then afterwards, when persons see what it is, you know, definitely I see persons appreciating it, and it's been great so far.
The two-man business continues to grow with the help of his wife, Rochelle.
She has her own profession, but definitely I think she decided to give me a hand, and she saw how stressful it was on me, and I really needed some help. And she decided to pitch in to help with the painting.
At first, I was just keeping company. So when he was up late at night, I would stay up with him just to keep his company until eventually I started doing the paintings for him so that the work could be done faster.
I showed her little moves here and there, and then she just perfect.
He hopes to become an inspiration for those who may not want to go into conventional professions.
When you ask somebody what you want to become when you grow up, they'll say a lawyer, a doctor, a police, and you hear all these high names. You know, but it also shows kids that if just in case you don't become a lawyer or a doctor, you can become something great with your hands, you know, with the talent that you're given.
Once you believe in yourself and you think that you have this talent, don't let anyone stop you from going for what you want to go for. Just believe in yourself and just go for it.
Words not just for her husband and business partner, but for all creatives not realizing that they can turn their talents into profits. Gawain credits not just his family for his fortunes, but he wants the world to know it is God that continues to sustain him.
Embrace your rhythm and keep dancing through life. Don't lose your groove. Life challenges can slow you down, but remember to find your rhythm. Keep moving, keep grooving. Find your groove and never lose it.
From February 17 to 19, tourism stakeholders from all over the world descended on the Princess Grad Jamaica Resort in Hanover for the third staging of the Global Tourism Resilience Conference and Expo. This year's event was a digital affair, as the theme of the conference was Building Tourism Resilience Through Digital Transformation. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett officially opened the conference, sharing several new initiatives being rolled out by the Jamaica-based Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, which he founded in 2018. These include artificial intelligence, AI tools, capacity building programs, as well as thought leadership and advocacy efforts.
By equipping tourism stakeholders with cutting-edge digital skills, we aim to reshape the industry, making it more agile, inclusive, and future-ready. These initiatives collectively stand to transform global tourism. They illustrate how resilient building efforts can range from environmental sustainability to public health, from heritage preservations to digital innovation, all converging to create a seamless and sustainable global tourism environment.
Discussions also explored how to use big data to guide decision-making and personalize experiences for visitors. Immediate past president of the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, CHTA, Nicole Madden Gregg, highlighted some of the data points destinations can use to improve their business.
We need to be able to move to the point where we have harmonization across data sets so we can better plan and utilize resources across the region. We'll use this to be able to predict future demand, be able to see what is happening across the region so that we can also move human resources throughout the region, because we are in fact a CARICOM region that does allow us to move resources. Additional data points that we need to focus on: booking and accommodation preference, spending behavior, visitor movement data, how they engage with digital platforms, satisfaction scores, and feedback.
Meanwhile, Country Director for the Caribbean at the World Bank, Lilia Buronchuk, highlighted the importance of a strong digital presence for destinations as travelers increasingly rely on online reviews and booking platforms to plan their trips.
Over 50% of present tourists are booking their hotels directly online. They're no longer using the platforms. And this means that the tourist sector needs to readjust. It means that small and medium enterprises, but also the big enterprises, they need to do their marketing differently. Tourism actually learn most and choose the locations based on social media increasingly. For example, social media was a top reason, actually second top reason for inspiring a trip to the Caribbean as a result of that World Bank consumer market research.
Continuing the discussion on how artificial intelligence applications can be leveraged to enhance tourism, local presenters highlighted efforts to automate the processing of travelers through the installation of 100 automated passport kiosks and 15 e-gates at the island's international airports in Kingston and Montego Bay. Director of Tourism Donovan White added that the Jamaica Tourist Board has introduced an AI-powered chatbot on its visitjamaica.com website to assist potential visitors with requests and recommendations.
Our AI-powered chatbot, which is our virtual travel specialist on visitjamaica.com, delivers a 24-hour customer assistance to potential visitors. Through the chatbot, users around the world are able to connect with a live agent, which sits in our office, who can assist them and even provide quotations on bookings.
He noted that the AI chatbot delivers 24-hour customer assistance and now converses in up to 10 languages. Before we go, we leave you with a success story from the work of the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center in Kenya. Since the launch of the Satellite Center in Africa, it has been having a positive impact on the African continent.
It seems like this center actually was established majorly for us because we took full advantage of the situation. And of course, with COVID coming immediately after we started the center in 2019, this center has been an icon that has helped us overcome crisis after crisis. And now we have policies, we have initiatives, we have programs that are transforming the Eastern Africa region.
Plans are now in place for next year's staging of the Global Tourism Resilience Conference with the goal of continuing to build capacity, collaborate, and share ideas. So mark your calendars for February 2026 as next year's conference promises to be bigger and better.
We're at the end of today's show, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup geared towards providing you with information on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. You may visit our website, jis.gov.jm, to rewatch this show or to catch up on the others we have on the site. I'm Theodore Henry, telling you thanks for watching from our production team here at the JIS.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.